Hey guys, Ryan Dement True Podcast. I hope you're having a great day. It is Wednesday, December 22nd. We are getting closer to Christmas, and I know we're starting to get a little stressed about what we're doing on the holidays, but what we're going to do in 2022. Last week, we talked about finding your passion through change. This week, we're going to talk about that passion and turning it into goals that are achievable for you, that you will stick with throughout the year and every day, and you can even turn it into a business. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back. Passion. Last week we talked about finding your passion through change, and we talked about how you can find these items, and I say items loosely, these things that motivate you. We're all motivated by something or some things, but if we don't actually go after those things, how are we ever going to better ourselves as humans, as husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, cousins, uncles, aunts, whatever? This week, I wanted to talk about you found that passion. We're coming up on the new year, and we all put out these New Year resolutions. But I saw a stat that 80% of New Year's resolutions are basically broken by the middle part of February. I've even saw one that said by the end of January, 60% of New Year's resolutions are broken. But you don't have to be in that camp. It all starts here in your mind, and it's a positive thought process. Whether you believe in the universe, whether you believe in a higher spiritual person like God, you have to know that the positive things you put out comes back to you threefold, and the negative things that you put out are just going to come back to you in threefold also. So why not focus on the positives? So with the mindset, this is step number one, is mindset. You need to change your mindset. Your mindset has to be on positivity. And whether that's waking up in the morning and you're journaling, or you're taking time to meditate, or you're just taking time to clear your mind and start your day in a positive mindset and not stressing about what you need to get accomplished in the day. And one of the ways in this step that you can avoid all that is don't pick up your phone 5 minutes after you wake up and start looking at social media or responding to text messages. Put it down for 5 or 10 minutes and just enjoy waking up refreshed, being thankful that you woke up and you have the ability to get your day started, and you get to be able to create the day the way you want it. I'll give you an example of what happened to me yesterday. We are selling our last rental in Indiana, and it's been in escrow. We're going through it, and it's been delayed because potential COVID from the renters, which ended up being stomach flu. Then a few other things happened with him. Not a big deal. So yesterday, out of the blue, one of the renters emailed me and said, "Hey, we want to break our lease. We found another place. We want to go live there. We like the house better." Well, they're locked down to a lease until April of next year. And at the same time, yesterday was appraisal day. So the house is being appraised for the loan for the buyer. And I'm thinking, holy crap, what's going to happen? Is the buyer just going to walk away? Because I would like to move on. This is part of those things that I've talked about. This is one of those items that have been sitting on me for a while from my past that just needs to be let go, and you just got to move forward. So call our realtor, tell him the situation. He picks up the phone, does his thing, with the other side of the transaction. He's like, "Okay, cool, no problem." I was stressed beyond belief, thinking the deal was going to fall apart because he was buying it off of the rent. Well, the piece that I didn't share in the beginning part of this is The rent that's being charged today on this unit is still about $150 below market value because I could only raise the annual rent by a certain percentage based upon Indiana law. So now the buyer has the ability to raise this rent even higher to get it within market rate. And the house that he's buying is the best house on the block. We put a lot of time and effort into that house. That house was taken down to the studs. I mean, it had been unoccupied for almost 3 years before we bought it. And it needed a total. I mean, I wish we would have knocked it down, but we didn't. We saved it. It is what it is. But it's the best looking house on the block, and it's also the most energy efficient. So he has the ability to raise the rent, get more ROI, and be able to turn this, turn a profit. So my mindset yesterday was pretty much, I was somewhat sad because I'm like, now I'm fighting to get this done by the end of the year because the closing was originally scheduled for 12/30. Sorry, December 30th. And I lost my mind and lost my train of thought, and I didn't go negative, but I went kind of numb and I didn't know where to go with it. Ultimately, being able to have a very upfront, honest conversation with our realtor, and then I also was able to talk to the renters to understand where they're going. They ultimately want to leave a month before the lease is up. So not a big deal. We've conveyed that. The buyer likes that. But yesterday, when this all came down out of nowhere, because we had the delays up until this point because the appraisal should have been done the week before. And we've had delays with getting the inspection done. And then the inspector found some stuff, which ultimately we had two general contractors come in and they looked at it and the inspector was way off. So we've got the write-ups, sending it over. We're moving forward. But I just felt like in the moment that I can't get rid of this weight off my back. It just wouldn't stop. It just kept on giving me. And it's like, how much more can you take? And when that mindset kind of started setting in, not kind of, it set in, got up, walked outside, got some fresh air, the old proverbial, let's go take a walk, got the mail, whatever. And I just kind of walked away from it for a while just to clear my head because ultimately I still had other stuff to do. If you guys haven't seen what we're doing for 2022, we're also launching a nonprofit called True Community. True Community. And I got to put videos out about it. I'm designing the website. I've got to get the donation piece put together. We're finalizing the 501c3 so we can be a nonprofit. We're going through all the hoops. So I still had that to worry about. And then, oh, by the way, I have TrueVest on the other side. And we're developing Bayard Park, 14 houses. We've got an RFP out for the new builds. We have 515 Bayard Park that is on the market that needs to be sold that wasn't quite finished, so it's getting completed. And then 516 was going to be the last renovation, but after going through 3 foundation contractors, they're just saying tear it down. So now I've got to get a quote, which I'm working on, which I have, got to negotiate that to get it knocked down. And then, oh, by the way, design a new build on that house. So there's a lot going on in my background. There's a lot going on for me. And the way I balance it is just basically taking one fire at a time and putting it out and moving on to the next. I don't try to put on 4 or 5 fires at a time on my plate because it just won't be successful. I know I will fail. And in a prior life, when I worked in the financial services industry, I was given like 20 or 30 tasks at a time, and a lot of them failed. And I learned during that time that if I prioritize them and work them down a list and just focused on how to get each of them done on a daily basis, sometimes if I had 30 things, they're not going to all get done in one day. So priority, understanding when they need to be done by, and then figuring out how are they going to impact my operations going forward? And that's how I became successful in managing 2,000, call center people. It just boils down to is strategy. So mindset is number one. Number two is how do you set your goals for yourself and are they achievable? And that is probably loaded to you, but let me tell you, goals need to be precise and concise. They need to be simple enough for you to be able to put a goal together and be able to achieve it. So, a goal for me to grow True Podcast downloads for the vlog and also for the podcast, to 1,000 downloads on a weekly basis by the end of this year. So, very precise. I understand what I need to do. Now, could there be sub steps in that to be able to get there? There's marketing, there's social media, there's different ways I can shoot videos. There's different channels I can go after. I've been looking at getting an internet radio channel. Don't know enough about it, haven't done it. But a very simple goal. I have another goal for True Community for 2022 is to raise $50,000. Okay. You say again, very, very generic. It is, but for me, it's I'm going to raise $50,000. I haven't put a definitive time frame on it because I'm not far enough along, but I want it on my roadmap. And I point to the other side is because my goal board is on the other side of the camera. And guess what? My goals are there. So I continually look at them and visualize them. That's the third piece of this. You need to be able to visualize your goals and know that they're attainable. If you set your goals and set the bar so high to where you don't feel, I shouldn't say you feel, where you think that the bar is so high that you cannot attain the goal, or you think it's going to be so much work, guess what happens? We all get discouraged. I'm all about the baby steps. You can take 1 or 2 steps forward. I'm kosher with that. I'm not looking to hit home runs every time. I like singles and doubles a lot because guess what? Singles and doubles scores runs. Baseball analogy if you're not a baseball person. But being focused on the goal and being able to celebrate small wins, those baby steps, will help you stay focused, visually engaged in the goal. And the other thing is, you'll be positive. You'll be happy. The more happiness, the positivity you put out, you have a different aura. And I say this, think of it this way, and I'm just going to use another analogy. When you first start dating somebody and you're really into them, you're in that, they call it the honeymoon stage, but it really isn't a honeymoon. But you're excited about that person and you're like, you're happy and you're giddy and you're joyous and your heart is pounding and you get excited to see them. You need to have that going about your goals. Because if you're not excited about your goals are not going to turn into a passion, and that passion's not going to turn into a career or a job or whatever you want to call it, a business. If you look at a lot of the entrepreneurs that are out there, they're in the business because they're in their business because it's a passion of theirs. They've turned a passion into a business. And you have to find that passion. And whether that passion is through goal setting, talking to people and interacting and finding it, you have to take action to be able to get there. And that action, like I talked about last week, is change. Your mindset has to change. You actually have to follow through and not give up. The old adage is you get knocked down 9 times, you get up 10 times. You have to get up every single time when you get knocked down. The road's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's just not I digress and I look around because I'm trying to filter this thought process. It's just not as easy as everyone wants it to be because we're in this instant gratification society. And with COVID being out there, it's amplified all that. All these people are putting TikToks out and Instagram and Facebook and whatever else is out there about their happy lives, when realistically, their lives are probably more like crap, but they want to show off and make it like it's perfect. Well, guess what? None of our lives are perfect. None of us have a perfect life. We all have issues, and it's how you deal with those issues. And those issues that you overcome will allow you to achieve your goals, your passion, and turn it into a job, into a company. You could be a solo entrepreneur. You can be an eco entrepreneur. Um, you can do whatever you want. The problem is you have to be willing to put the time, effort, and also endure the pain because there is pain every single day. And I say every single day because I've been living that for almost 5 years. There's pain, there's growing pains. And as a wise man told me, a good friend of mine says, his mama tells him, right before your biggest breakthrough, you're going to experience the most pain. And once you hit that breakthrough, that pain goes away. And I can see that where we're at with TrueVest. I'm able to get this rental sold. I'm able to get 515 sold. We're able to raise 516 and build a brand new house on it. And then we move down the block. And that's a whole fresh start for me. That's 14 brand new houses that we're going to transform that neighborhood and that block. And then lastly, True Community. It's going to come online in 2022, and we're going to start being able to impact people on a financial level, on a housing level to where they become homeowners. And then we'll be involved in the communities that we're developing in so we can help neighbors get into better places. We can help people in their communities become financially secure and also safe, because a lot of the neighborhoods we're in are not safe. They've been left behind from investments. They're not typical neighborhoods where you're going to see developers come in and actually make a difference and make an impact on these neighborhoods. Those are the things that are on my roadmap. That's how I think on a daily basis. That's how I approach my issues, my problems. I don't give up. But here's the thing, just because you get knocked down and you have a moment of weakness, or I call it a pity party, doesn't make you a bad person, makes you human. And people get to see that these things actually affect you. And when they affect you, it should motivate you and change you for the better. And it pushes you forward to do even more. That's how it affects me. And I want you guys to be successful in 2022 with everything going on in this world with COVID and politics and policies and all this other crap. It's just noise. You create your own environment. You get to be able to be the driver of your whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it a Maserati or a Ferrari or a Mercedes, or you want a RV, I don't know. But you're in control of your own destiny. You just have to realize that and actually believe it. Because when you believe, you will achieve. I know it's an old adage, but it is true. When you believe something and you continue to put it out there and you visualize it, it may not come when you want it to, but guess what? It will come. It will come. Guys, this won't be the last video of the year. I will put one more video out, but I wanted to talk to you guys from the heart. If you celebrate Christmas, enjoy the holidays with family. Make your own decisions. Be safe. Be healthy. We're human beings and we need connection, physical connection to others. So if you need to wear a mask to visit family, go for it. If you're fully vaccinated, go for it. Your choice, your rules. I will never get involved in that. I'm just asking, enjoy family, take it all in, and use that positive energy to push you forward on your goals for 2022 and start putting those goals together to find that passion, get it going, don't give up on it, and turn it into your job, turn it into your business. Whatever you want to turn into, maybe it just stays a side hustle. That's fine. But take action. That's all I'm asking you to do. Take action. Have a great Christmas, guys. Stay focused, stay together, stay healthy, stay happy. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Have a good one.